Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for the ones who have been here before, and welcome to the ones who have not. My name is Janae and I'm the owner of Confidently You Creations, and for today's video we're going to be doing a neon ombre peekaboo tumbler. If you have not subscribed to our channel already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Everything I use in today's video will be listed down below for you guys to check out, and you'll even find some discount codes down there. If you haven't followed us already, please follow us on social media at Confidently You Creations on Instagram and on Facebook. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alrighty, so I started off with a fully sanded and I prepped my tumbler with a flat white spray paint. And then I went back in after that dried with, these are new paints that I started to use. This one is from Montana Colors 94, and that color was Floor. It's like a hot pink color, Flour. And this one is actually called Red, but it's neon orange. I'll link those down below so you guys can know exactly what colors to grab on the website. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to go over that white flat spray paint, and I'm going to do the bottom, the neon pink first, and then I'm going to go back in and do the top orange. Now you can do this a couple times if you need to get a more vibrant color if you want to, but we're going to go ahead and glitter these so we didn't need to do 2 coats. Alrighty, so now that we've spray painted it and it's dried, it's really matte. Like, this spray paint is really matte, so it dries fairly quickly. And so for the glitters, we're going to be using Electric Pink and Passion Fruit from Gita Designs. Again, those will be linked down in the bottom, and I have a coupon code so you guys can get these glitters at a discount. So I'm going to put Modpodge as my adhesive method to adhere the glitter. Now, if you have never worked with ombre before, you can definitely use epoxy. You can take your time using epoxy. Modpodge, you do have to work a little bit faster when doing your ombre, because if not, it will dry. But you can always go in with 2 coats if it does kind of like dry up on you really fast. So either way, whichever works best for you. I've kind of gotten used to the Modpodge method, so it just kind of works for me. So we'll do whatever works for you. So for the first color, we're going to use the chunky one first. I'm just going to go ahead and heavily do it on the rim, and I'm just going to slow it down for you guys for the ombre part. This is real time. Once I heavily did the rim part, I'm tilting my cup at an angle. This is angled down, so you guys can see. And then I'm just kind of sprinkling it kind of towards the rim of the cup and just letting it fall. You don't want to sprinkle it right on the area, because then you're going to get a straight line. So you want to tilt your cup at a very steep angle and then aim for the rim to where it can cascade down that cup. Okay, so I'll show you guys again with the pink. So I'm just kind of going in and filling any areas towards the top. I did get some areas that I wanted to touch up on the bottom with some Mod Podge, so I just kind of did that before I went in with the pink. So with the pink, you're going to do the same thing. Just give it all you got at the bottom there. Do your bottom and then do kind of like that edge. And then you're going to tilt your cup. Again, you're going to tilt it, I guess this would be upward or downward, whatever works for you, but I kind of tilted it upward. And then again, this is real time. And then I again aimed for the top of the cup and just let it cascade on down. I'm working kind of fast because, again, this is Mod Podge, but I've done it several times. Again, so if you're not used to it, you're more than welcome to use epoxy first and just take your time with it. So you're going to go back and forth with both colors until you're happy with your ombre. So I'm tilting it downwards. Again, you probably can't tell that I'm tilting it, but it is tilted a little bit. I've already kind of gotten a good ombre that I wanted, so I didn't have to like tilt it too much. So I'm going to go back in with the pink, I'm tilting it again, and I want to get that some of that pink onto the orange. And then I wanted to get some of the orange into the pink again to avoid just a straight line. The whole purpose of doing the tilt is to just kind of let some of the glitter into the other color without like, well, ombre. I gotta go into all the explanation of what ombre means. So you're just gonna do that back and forth until you get the look that you are looking for. So after I finished with my two colors, I let this dry for about 30 minutes, and then I went in and I sprayed it with Rustoleum's Clear Gloss Sealer 3 times, and then I went in, after I let that dry, I'm going to go in with my epoxy. So again, you want to make sure you have sealed this completely, sealed it 3 times, 2 to 3 times. We are going to peekaboo it, and the colors are very similar. So if you had like white and black, you want to make sure to seal so those colors don't mix when you're doing this part. So I did do 2 layers of epoxy. If you do have some areas that are bumpy after 2 layers, so you have like lots of bumps that you have to sand, please go in and do a 3rd coat. Whenever you go to place your decals, you want to make sure your cup is completely smooth, like no bumps, no pointy areas or anything like that, because you will see it when you go to spray paint. So if you do need to place a 3rd coat, it's okay. Place 2 to 3 coats and then go in with your sanding after each layer has dried and the last layer has dried for at least 12 hours. All right, so this is what my cup looks like after 2 coats. I sanded my rim to expose that thin line of stainless steel to where our last coats of epoxy have something to adhere to. And then I also sanded the bottom of my cup around the edge. So now I'm going to pick a nice spot where I want to place my decal. It does say Blessed Mama. And we're also going to place some leopard spots on there as well. I don't know if you guys get tired of me placing leopard spots, but everybody loves leopard. Like I've grown to like leopard print, and I think zebra is probably going to be my next thing. So stay tuned for that. So just go ahead and grab your piece of transfer tape, and then we're going to go ahead and place all of our decals. For this, I did do offsets. So I went and cut out these decals. This one came from Creative Fabrica. I will link this specific one that says Bless Mama down for you guys in the description box. But I did go on Cricut and find the geometric little square there. And I did type in like geometric square or shapes and just found the square that I wanted, and I just put it around the decal that says Bless Mama. So when you click the link for this specific decal, it's not going to have that square around it because I actually put that there from Cricut Design Space. All right, so after I found the area where I wanted to put this on the cup, I did measure it as always, the beginning of the decal, the middle, and the end of it, to make sure it was the same measurement on up, because it's nothing like having a crooked decal and you having to cut it out again. So yeah, I used the hinge method to put it on. So I cut 1/2 and then I placed it on there, and then I removed the other half, and so on. So after that, we can go in with our leopard spots, and I like to put a lot of them on the transfer tape and not just do one at a time. You do have to be careful doing it this way though, because once you're trying to put one down on the cup, one or two other ones may want to come along with it. So just be careful and just keep in mind that you do have other ones on there. You just don't want to put the whole sheet down, just placing one down at a time. So you can put these on your cup, no rhyme or reason, just place them on around. Just kind of keep in mind which ones you're using, or like a certain area or square that you took off of your, like all of your leopard prints. Because when I went to do the offsets for these, I had to like search and search of like, oh snap, well, where is this pattern at on the cup? Oh snap, where's this pattern on the cup? So it did take me a little while to actually place some of the offsets, because I had to like find and make sure I had the right one, you know, putting it on the leopard spot. So you'll see what I mean once we get further on into the video. But see, you can see here one of them just kind of wanted to hang out on its own, and so I just left it there. It wasn't a huge deal. So you want to use removable vinyl for this. I forgot to mention that. I know someone asked me that before. Yes, you want to use removable vinyl. So I just pick yellow or blue is like my favorite ones to use. So they will come up easy and they won't leave like a sticky residue. Permanent vinyl leaves like a very sticky residue when you try to pick it back up. So removable is always what you want to use for these peekaboo tumblers. All right, after you're all done with placing all of your leopard spots, take it back outside, spray paint it the opposite of what you spray painted it prior. So before, my bottom was pink and my top was orange. So now I went and spray painted my top pink and my bottom orange to have that ombre and then the peekaboo of the opposite color peeking through. So this took me a couple minutes to do this part, as far as taking all of the removable vinyl off. But I did do 2 layers of spray paint, just to where it covered the whole, you know, you didn't see the glitter underneath the spray painted part. And so this is what it looks like. I love the matte look. I may go in and do another one that's matte, because I really do love this spray paint at its matte natural state. But anyways, we'll continue. I went ahead and gave it one good coat of epoxy. Just one is all it needed. And now we're going to go in and place our offsets. So I'm going to place the middle part of it first. And then I'm going to go in and place the square geometric little shape in afterwards. And some people do use like a wax paper to put this on if you are not really great at lining up your offset. That also works. You know, whatever works for you works for me. And then there were some little pieces that kind of just straggled on in there, so I went ahead and just put those pieces on. So then I'm just going to continue to put my geometric shape on there. It didn't line up as perfect as I wanted it to, but the peekaboo lines were so small, like you barely can tell. And yeah, I'm sure the person who who got the cup probably wouldn't even notice it either. It's just me being a perfectionist. But yeah, so you're just going to continue to put all of these areas of your peekaboo on there, of your offset, and we're going to go ahead and place our leopard spots next. So what I did off camera, I did go ahead and weed out a lot of the leopard prints, just so I can just, you know, pick them all up at one time, instead of having to weed one, put one on, weed one, put one on. So I did do a lot of weeding off camera. But at this point, your cup should be completely smooth, and this is why it's important to get it smooth, because once you're placing your decals on there, you don't want them to rise or lift and then epoxy get underneath them and lift it, and you know, it just wouldn't look right. So make sure your cup is completely smooth before placing all of these offsets on here. So once you've placed all your leopard spots offsets, you're going to go in and place your final coats of epoxy. You don't have to use all of the offsets to your leopard spots unless you want to. I just did a few here, far and in between. I placed 2 coats of epoxy on this, letting each layer dry for about 4 to 6 hours. And then the final layer, of course, letting that dry for 12 to 24 hours. And at the end, here is our result. Thank you guys again so much for staying to the end of this video. I always thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you just like the tumbler altogether. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We upload once a week, typically on Friday or Saturday. And follow us on social media, Confidently You Creations, on Instagram and Facebook. Also, if there's anything that you guys like to see as far as a tutorial, please let me know in the comments. I will happily make a video and fulfill your request. Thank you so much. See you next week.